We'll now move on to our next speaker, who is Mr. Qiu Bo, the lead data intelligence architect at Alibaba Cloud, Singapore, who will be speaking about big data analysis. Welcome,
Hello,
Mr.
good afternoon. I thank you for the introduction. Okay, sure. So, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Qiu Bo. I'm the data intelligence architect from Alibaba Cloud. Today, my topic of sharing is advanced analytics. So let me start by sharing my screen. So I think thank you for inviting me today. And we all know that big data has been the buzzword for the last 3 to 5 years. And we always talk about the 4 V's of big data: volume, velocity, veracity, variety. And today I want to make it a little bit simpler for you. So I thought I just consolidate in 2 aspects: cost and benefit. And who better to summarize the essence of big data and how the value of big data and data analytics to leaders of enterprise? I think today I took the liberty to get this report from Gartner, where they predicted in 2021, this year, and this year onwards, we're actually at the pivoting point where data analytics are starting to become a core business function. So when at Alibaba, when we reflect that, because we started as an e-commerce company, and back then we call it internet-based company, where we don't get enjoy the kind of face-to-face interaction with our customer. I think that's the nature of the business. So we had no choice, or we take a very strategic point of view to say that we have to rely on data to run our business. So I guess starting from 1999, we actually essentially made ourselves as a one data-driven organization. So our reflection of what is going to be the trend of data analytics going forward is going to be 3 areas. Number 1, real time, because these days with the development of the high-speed internet or high cloud traffic, the customer has every right to demand for real-time services. That means that if I make an order online today, I expect the order to go through in less than 1 second. So this is the environment that business leaders are operating, such that your business analytics, your business intelligence also has to respond in real time. That's point number 1. Number 2, we'll talk about heterogeneity. This is a very key topic because if you talk about the big 4 V's of the 4 V's of big data, variety and volume speaks a lot. That's why these days we're starting to collect data from various variety of data sources. It could be in a structured format, it could be an unstructured format, it could be pictures, medium, or other medium. That's why it's important to fully utilize a wide variety of data that comes in different forms and shapes, and combine them together in a centralized platform so that you can derive maximize insight out of this. And lastly, it will be a comprehensive data management. Okay, I think this speaks a lot to the owners of all the data owners of enterprise, where you really need a unified platform that manages data from all the different sources. They go to different directions. They go through different type of data processing. They have different ETL. They have the different data quality rules, and it has to sit in one platform for you to holistically manage and own the data. So with these 3 points, in my next 3 slides, I will cover each and every of these 3 points in some details. So first, real time. This is actually what you're seeing today. Here is actually an example of our latest offering, where we are the first provider, cloud provider to actually give you a capability to do real-time data ingestion as well as real-time data query, ad hoc query, OLAP in one single unified platform. So how do we do a real-time big data warehouse? it includes three very important components. Number one, this is the real-time compute for Apache F-Link, which does the real-time streaming processing. And number two will be our HSAP, hybrid serving and analytic processing data warehouse. In short, you can look at it as a real-time data warehouse, which does both serving as well as OLAP or ad hoc queuing. And lastly will be our base, which is our exabyte level cloud big data platform, which we call the offline cloud data warehouse. So with these three components, you can easily transform your data. You can do real-time processing from whether it's from ODS data to your data warehouse detail level, or from the detail level to the summary level, and all the way until the application level. All the ingestion and the processing will be in real time, and it all sits in a one unified real-time data warehouse, which is holograph, so that you can do your AI or do your OLAP, you do your self-service analytics, reporting, as well as machine learning tasks. So and this year we're making this structure even better in two aspects. Number one, we're making it much easier for you to manage. We're doing this by introducing a one-stop development platform, which includes SQL, Java, Python development environment. And secondly, we're also making it a lot friendly to use Binlog as well as native event-driven data processing. On top of that, in order to achieve high availability for real-time data warehousing, we have also building a shard level replication for server HP, as you have seen here. Besides making it easier, we're also making it faster for you. This is done in terms of two aspects. Number one, we have came out with an intelligent job diagnosis, which can automatically configure and tune in your real-time streaming process. And number two, we're making our engine a lot faster. With our optimization, we actually make it 10 times faster to write from our real-time data warehouses to our big data warehouses. Number two, to historical or as well, I think I go a little bit more detail in the DAG 2.0, where we're actually making the scheduling of the jobs much faster, with the new approved optimization in mass compute, where we speed up the query acceleration between 30% to 100%. So besides real-time data warehousing, the next topic I would like to talk about is heterogeneity, where we take a leap step in terms of how a lake house should look like. This is our latest product introduction, where we call it DLF, data lake formation. Essentially, what it does is to actually bridging the data and integrate them as a whole between the data warehouse, in our case it's max compute, together with the data lake. We support two types of data lake. One is the open source Hadoop type of data lake, which runs on HDFS, or we support our own interpretation of data lake, where we successfully disaggregated between storage and computation, and we store the data lake in the form of object storage. So with the data lake formation, what we're able to do is to automatically does the metadata discovery and management between your data warehouse and your data lake. In the same time, it provides access control to our data lake, which is the object storage. On top of that, we also have a unified platform that is, I think I'll go in more detail in my next slide, but we have a unified platform to manage both your data lake as well as your data warehouse, where you can do you have a unified platform for development, and you have a unified engine to cross processing data jobs, computations, and whatever type of processing. More importantly, you have a holistic and a one-stop way to manage your data, provide data governance in terms of both metadata management as well as data quality control. So in terms of improvement we have made at the max compute layer, we have upgraded our data warehouse in terms of both the tier storage, intelligent cache, as well as data access acceleration. This is some of the things we're trying to do to make your big data data warehouse experience more efficient and higher performance. Lastly, at Alibaba Cloud, we always believe in integrating with the open source ecosystem. Later in my slides, I will show you that not only we have a strong portfolio of proprietary enterprise level big data solution, we'll also support all of the latest advanced open source ecosystem. And in this case, we support most of the common data lake engines, including EMR, MapReduce, this is Hadoop, as well as open source Cloudera CDH. So lastly, I think we talk about a one-stop big data platform that's development as well as management. So with our big data platform, which we call DataWorks, where we actually provide a one-stop services for both data integration, where you get to control various type of data ingestion from different sources and going to different destinations. We have made it very friendly. We've done it in six years. IDE, a visual workflow for you to create your data flow, as well as one-stop services for all your data job scheduling. We're making it even better by this year by integrating the real-time, I think the one you have seen here earlier, the real-time processing engine, F-Link, Apache F-Link, with our ecosystem, so that you can also support. So today you can choose MapReduce as the destination for the data sources coming out from real-time streaming. Lastly, when you build an enterprise level big data platform, data governance is key. That's why DataWorks also provide you with all the tools to do data governance, that including metadata management, data bloodline in the form of data catalog, data quality check, as well as data security. And these days PDPA data security is actually a key concern for everybody. That is why we actually introduced a new product under the area called privacy protection. We call it SDDP, sensitive data discovery and protection, where we apply artificial intelligence with our algorithm to help you to classify the sensitivity level of data, so you can take a smart action on how you want to make the data secure, and which part of data which is of low sensitivity, so that you can share the data across your enterprise in order to for all the different departments to enjoy the value of the data. So here I just want to show you that at Alibaba Cloud we have got you covered end to end in terms of big data service, all the way from data ingestion, data storage, analyze and processing, to the way where you actually capture the value of data through data visualization and visual consumption. So something I like to highlight that not only we have our internal enterprise level products such as DataWorks, I've shared earlier, our object storage, OSS, Next to Qiu, as well as Quick BI. We are also very open in terms of onboarding the latest open source ecosystem. That is why in storage layer we also introduce MongoDB and Redis. These are some of the most popular data storage open source system. In the data analysis space, we are also happy to include both Hadoop, which is called MapReduce, as well as Elastic as the data processing and analyzing. Lastly, for data visualization or BI purpose. We support a lot of the common BI tool in the market, including Power BI, including Tableau, so on and so forth. So another thing I'd like to highlight is that we fully understand that everybody wants to harness the value from the data itself, but a big challenging, especially using the open source ecosystem, is that it's all here in bits and pieces, where you need a strong team with a strong domain knowledge to put things together to develop the data pipeline, the AI algorithm pipeline, in order for things to work at the business level. That is why we're on the consumption stage. We're also introducing a lot of open box solution where you don't need to build a pipeline, and with our best practice in the e-commerce space, in the logistics space, in the financial spaces, these are the products where you can open box and use, which includes AI Rank, which is our recommendation engine, Open Search, which is our smart search engine, and these two together actually today on Alibaba's e-commerce business, these two with our smart recommendation engine as well as the search engine, these two actually covers 95% of customer traffic. At the same time, besides doing BI at the desktop level, we're quite proud that we have a kind of a big screen solution where you get to install it on the war room and seeing the health, monitor the health of the organization, the business in real time, and make real-time business decisions. So what I mean by that is actually this is a giant screen from Double 11, which is also from Alibaba, the biggest shopping festival in the world, where we are applying all of our latest development in big data, as well as in big data, in machine learning, as well as in the database space, so that whatever transaction, later I'll show you the numbers, whatever transaction that goes on in Double 11, we're able to calculate the GMV, the gross merchandise value, in less than 3 seconds, and have it show in a giant screen like this, where our senior team as well as our customer get to enjoy the big data side of the shopping experience. So just now you have seen it in action, with a giant screen which is developed under our DataV big screen visualization tool. Underlying it, this is the architecture where we have F-link to from the business transaction data, behavior logs, or data storage. In real time, we're getting it distributed using our PubSub mechanism, where data gets real time ingested into our processing engine, real-time processing engine F-link, so that you can go into the real-time data warehouse holographs for data visualization purpose. Our solution is highly tested in the sense that you can see that at the peak, we're actually processing 4 billion events per second, and we supported petabyte level of real-time data processing every day, with a total data at the back end that is well in the range of exabyte level. So real-time data, I think I talk a lot about real data processing. This graph actually shows you that in our initial stages, we actually, before we develop our own holographs, we actually rely a lot on the open source real-time data warehousing. This is a typical architecture where you do your batch data in Hive for high throughput purpose, and you do your dimension table in NoSQL such as Cassandra or HBase to join with F-link that ingested into a small scale kind of real-time data warehousing such as a ClickHouse, and you do use Presto for federated query design. And you can quickly see the problem with this kind of architecture, that everything sits in silo. It is not, there's no one place for real-time BI and real-time AI. And it is scheduled that requires high overhead to maintain the overall structure. It gets expensive, and because there's various moving pieces, it really slows down you in terms of time to market for developing these services. That is why, we actually fully feel the pain. That's why we developed this real-time data warehousing we call HoloGraphs, which does real-time point lookup, OLAP, and ad hoc query. Like I mentioned just now, you can actually do real-time. Our ad hoc query supports a million plus QPS query per second, and we can process terabytes level of data in less than 3 seconds. So this really allows us to streamline the real-time data processing, to have one source of place for both real-time data ingestion, archiving, as well as real-time data processing. And the other benefit is that it also supports external table, so that even the data doesn't sit in your data warehouse, but because of the tunnel we have built between HoloGraphs and Max Compute, you can actually do real-time query on your data warehouse without moving the data. So lastly, besides real-time monitoring, we also support real-time machine learning. So this is where you do your sample creation, feature engineering, model training in real time. Traditionally, machine learning are done in batches, which is carrying out an offline basis. But in today's use cases, for example, in the e-commerce where customer is trying to browsing the product catalog, you need to capture customers' behavior in real time and use that as an input to generate more relevant recommendation on the go. So F-Link, as well as Apache real-time F-Link, as well as HoloGraphs, gives you the power to do real-time machine learning. So besides real-time, I think we also have to talk about in the data warehouse space, where the heavy lifting of the archiving, the storage of historical data sets. So this is our big data platform, where we actually process 15 million tasks on a daily basis, where on the Double 11 day itself, we actually see an 80% increase in terms of the data created. This year we went in, I think last year 2020, so we went to 1.7 exabyte, where the computation also increased by 50%. So to meet this kind of extreme challenges in terms of the data volume and data processing, we actually introduced our service mode 2.0 optimization framework, where we are able to reduce the overhead of jobs by 65%. At the same time, I think I just now mentioned about our cost and history-based optimization. We are improving further by using our DAG 2.0 execution engine, which really saves 780 million times of computer nodes consumption. And lastly, we also built a better storage that is based on the Apache ORC. You can see that the blue one is our optimized Ali ORC, which performs better compared to both Pocket as well as Apache ORC. Never forget about, we are fully support the open source ecosystem, where we have made our big data engine encapsulated so that it supports both Young and Spark. So our big data is a runs on a serverless architecture, and today I'm happy to share with you that it can support any type of business demand. With the usual stable running jobs, we actually support the subscription based on billing to suit the stable usage model. Of course, you also see for a data-driven company or startup where you experience exponential business growth, we can also do pay-as-you-go type of business model to suit your business needs. And just now, like I mentioned, that sometimes the reality lies between these two. Like say, for example, we're having a high volume, and we also have peak events such as Double 11 or Black Friday. So this year, we're actually doing convergence where you can do a combination of these two to better meet the unique consumption pattern of your business environment. And lastly, with the idle resource for competition, this is very suitable for testing, development, as well as venturing into the big data space for the first time.
No questions, Mr. Qiu Bo. Thank you so much. Qiu Bo is the lead data intelligence architect from Alibaba Cloud for joining us from Singapore. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have had you. And any further questions or requests for slides or information, we will pass it on to your local coordinates here. Thank you so much for your time.